Testing. He just.
We do them from all over. I got one today.
Hey, KD, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Perfect. Just want to make sure our audio is good. We'll get started here in just a minute.
Thank you.
Order. And we'll have a minute of just a moment of silence. And if we can stand, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Sit down the camera. What's his name?
Katie Britt.
Katie, I think you were looking out your back porch there.
Yes. Yes, I was.
Okay.
Just to say there's not a flag there, though.
First, we have the consent agenda, and we have the minutes from October 7th, 2024.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second the motion.
All right, motion approved. Next, we have citizens'
Hold on,
comments.
gotta do a vote, sorry.
Sorry.
All those in
That's
favor?
okay. Hold on,
I missed a
motion,
minute too.
motion by Tony, seconded by Aura.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
All those in favor indicate with aye.
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. You were good, sir.
All right, next item is the citizens' comments.
And have nobody registered to speak.
All right, so moving on to consideration and possible action. We have one case number PZ 24-001, application for variance at 202 Shelby Road, Everman, Texas 76140 by Synergy Towers. The contractor is requesting a variance to current standards requiring 500 feet clearance surrounding cellular towers.
All right, well, good evening, commissioners. We do have an application for variance. This application for variance differs slightly from a traditional application for variance in the fact that it's a cell phone tower variance. Currently, our standards require that cell phone towers are not constructed within 500 feet of residential buildings. Two reasons why, primarily. First one is structural collapse concerns. So cell phone towers commonly can be built several hundred feet. Anytime that a structural collapse zone is calculated, we usually take the height of that structure and multiply it by 2. That's what we call the structural collapse zone. So therefore, 500 feet gives us about a 250-foot tower clearance if that was to ever occur. Second reason is also because of RF interference. What you have to decide as a commission is whether or not the presence of this cell phone tower is warranted over potential interference that it could cause. And we're going to highlight a little bit of what Synergy has provided. Mr. KD Burdett is here from Synergy Towers. He is representing Synergy, and he is the applicant here to kind of answer any questions that you may have. Synergy, and correct me if I say anything wrong, KD, please. But Synergy is constructing this tower primarily for service with AT&T cell phone coverage. It will be constructed at 202 Shelby Road. It is roughly, I think you're proposing 300 feet. Is that correct?
For the height of the tower?
No. 300 feet distance from residential. Is that correct?
Yes, it's a little over 300 feet. Yes, sir.
Okay, so the current distance is about 300 feet from the current residential zoning over there. The cell tower is only going to be 120 foot tall. So if you take that and you do the typical multiplication times 2, you're getting 240 feet as far as structural collapse zone. So city staff has reviewed this, engineers have reviewed this. No concern as far as structural collapse goes of this being a danger to the residents around there. And we recommend approval on that aspect. Yes, ma'am.
Where's 202?
It's near you have to show us.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's near the
By
school.
Everman
Okay.
Parkway, yeah, by Everman Academy
Yes.
on Shelby.
Oh, into field,
But then they feel across from the,
which side is 202?
It's let me bring up the brightness here. It's north.
The north
Shelby.
side. Okay, down
Yeah.
here where they have the
Yeah, there's some, I
sheet
can pull
metal
the
and stuff.
street
Okay,
view.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just-
And this here is
You have it
showing
pulled up
us-
already?
Yeah,
okay.
Where's that? I mean,
Storage, near the storage buildings.
Okay.
I can see.
yeah.
Um,
And this is the distance here that I'm pulling in from the residential lots. It is
Yeah.
minimum 335, so that's pretty good. Now all of those other buildings are commercial, right?
Right.
yes, correct.
And what's that?
And we have no requirements as it affects commercial. So this is just residential.
Houses there either.
So you mentioned something about the interference?
Yes, so they have provided what they call signal level plots. Those should be included in your packet. I'm gonna share those on our screen here. And Katie, you're gonna be more well versed in explaining these than I will. So if you don't mind, I think if any of you have AT&T cell phone service, you're probably familiar with lack of coverage within the city, which is something we've talked with Katie about, city staff wise, we've talked with Katie about and shared our concerns. And they feel that this will address a lot of those. Concerns when we talk about cell phone coverage is the need, especially in today's time, the need to have cell phone coverage, particularly for 911 usage. So if anybody needs to call 911, it's important that they have cell phone reception, right? So I'm gonna share this presentation here. Up on the screen. And then Katie, do you mind somewhat explaining this map? Are you able to kind of explain what this map did?
Yes, this is actually what I used to do for AT&T when I worked there many years ago. I led the teams that did these designs. What you're seeing here is the signal level on the ground. So when I was in the auditorium last week in Everman, I noticed I didn't have very many bars on my phone. And this is directly correlated to the bars on your phone. There are two ways that the bars on your phone go up or down. One is direct signal level, which is what you're seeing here. As you can see, there's quite a hole in between those two existing sites where the red comes out of the existing sites that you see in the first plot. On the right side, with the proposed coverage, we connect those nicely and allow you to flow through the city of Everman with much better signal. I think the next slide will be the other portion that goes into your bars on your phone. This is the number of servers. So in the city of Dallas, let's say, you have so many cell sites that there's a lot of overlap, and that's something you don't want either. You want very distinct coverage zones and coverage radius from each individual cell site. And that's why this has been strategically placed in this location by the RF engineers in order to appropriately split the cells that were already existing. And you can move to the next slide. This is, again, shows how far this site is meant to serve. This site is meant to be a dominant server around the Shelby Road area and up into the city of Everman, taking over what was served very poorly by the existing sites. When a site has to overshoot, I liken it to a restaurant where you may be able to have a very quiet conversation whenever the restaurant is empty. As the restaurant continues to fill up, you notice that the noise continues to get a little louder. You have to talk a little louder. So then your neighbor has to talk a little louder. And that's the way the cell phones work as well. As you are on these cell edges, the mobiles, your phone has to power up a little bit to talk to that cell site because it's a little farther away. Well, the person inside of you toward that cell site then powers up a little more to talk, and then you might lose coverage. And so that's where these cell splits become very important, is to create very dominant zones and avoid that noise concern, which is something that I noticed when I was in Everman last week. This is what's called IQI. So every Android device, it doesn't work on iPhones yet, but every Android device, all your Samsungs and Google phones and Motorola's, they all report a specific set of readings back to the AT&T network. And so the AT&T engineers analyze those readings and determine where the majority of the users are. And that's what they've done here. That's what this plot is. It shows the average number of active users in a given 3 meter by 3 meter bin or plot. And so you can see there's a lot of users in Everman, and unfortunately the signal level is not such that it can support those users appropriately, which is why you guys are having the trouble that you're having. And I think that might be the last slide, but those are some of the things that they look at in order to determine where they need a site. And then those engineers will put a dot on the map and draw a circle and say, I need a site somewhere in this ring. And then it's up to us as the tower companies to come up with something that works well with the city as well. For instance, we wanted to try to be in an industrial area. And the storage unit is usually a pretty good option in these cases. We want to make sure that we can try to abide by all of your ordinances, and we work well with the city planning office to make sure that we meet all your needs. So that's kind of where we come into play, and that's where we are today.
Perfect. Thank you.
Sorry, you're breaking up a bit if you're asking me anything.
Attorney has reviewed it, staff has, Synergy has displayed the, oh no, I'm sorry, we were talking, I was filling in, are we losing internet here? KD, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I've got you now.
Okay, I don't know what happened. All right. So I was just filling the board in. So engineers reviewed this, attorney has reviewed it. We feel that Synergy has met the requirements for hardship. Synergy has presented evidence to support that they will not have any structural concerns as far as structural collapse or pose any danger by building this structure in this area. And we feel that Synergy has met the requirement where the need outweighs the concern of interference. So it's staff recommendation for approval to the board tonight. And it's up to you on which way you choose to go.
I make a motion to approve case number PZ 24-001 applicant variance at 202 Shelby Road, Urban, Texas 76140 by Synergy Towers. Contractor is requesting the current standards required of 500 feet clearance around the cell towers to be reduced to 300.
I second it.
Okay. All right, all those, or is there any discussion? Anybody have any questions or anything? Yes,
Tower's only 120 foot tall, so even if it falls over, it's still got another 170 feet to go. 180 feet to go before it hits it.
right. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yeah, reducing it to 300 feet would allow Synergy to construct this without any further need for a variance and would meet the requirements.
And we'd have cell service.
No radiation.
Radiation?
No.
If that's from microwaves.
Would they be able to start construction after permits and all, or would there be a public hearing?
No, there would not be a need for a public hearing on this case. It would be a bill by right as long as they have a variance approving this change. So it is already zoned appropriately, correct? It's zoned light industrial, yeah. So it'd be a bill by rights, no zoning change, no proposals there. I cannot recall, have they already submitted building permits?
No, we have not.
Have not, okay, perfect. So no, so if the variance is approved, then the next natural step would be for Synergy to provide building permits in which we would move forward with that process.
Okay. Any other questions, discussion? No.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Great. Thank you, Katie. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you guys.